It's a kind of funky in a way.
Yeah.
So I want to know about the funk in you. Whether we can talk about some kind of funky grooves in your album, latest album. Can we say that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, one of the things I thought before making the album was, in the past, I think people may have thought some of my albums lacked movement, and I thought that's very strange, because in the music, when I'm writing a song, I think they're kind of groovy. So when I made the new record, it was very important that we worked in a way that the record was very dynamic and it was groovy, and it kind of references a lot of the American music that I love growing up. Well, I just love, like country music and soul and rhythm and blues, and I think there are touches of those influences on the whole record, which is obviously music that's very lively.
On the other hand, you gave so many breaks in your music career. What were you doing in those periods? Because you never talk about your personal life at all.
No.
So what were you doing in those silent periods? We want to know that.
I don't know. I don't think I don't know. I tend to take a long time to do things. Hopefully not in the future. I think I'll be a bit more quick with the next album I make. But I don't, for example, have an awareness that I've taken so long to do something. With Can't Go Back, for example, I had a couple of false starts where I knew I wanted to have a lot of movement on the album, but the way I was doing that wasn't quite right for the songs. And that can end up taking maybe a year out of your life while you find the right person, and then another year, at least me.
But also, what about the feeling of the very powerful influence of one hit, Twisting My Sobriety, for all the time, after all these years, since 1988, because you were only 19 years old. What was the inspiration for that song in those years? You were so young.
Oh, well, I think when you're young, I think when you're 18, 16...
You're still young.
No, but when I was very young, when I was about 16 or 17, I think your connection to language or to ideas is very heightened because you are studying a lot or you're with young ideas, and I think this song is a song that I couldn't really write now because I don't really have that kind of language. I'm not really connected to that way of saying things. So when you say what inspired it, I think it was just the world around me, just the sensitivity you have when you're a teenager.
On the other hand, we know that you've been to Turkey before, you've been to Istanbul so many years ago. So what was your brightest memories of Istanbul at all?
Well, food. The food is amazing. And just it's quite a buzzy city, but it seems even buzzier now. Yeah, it has a real energy which I find very attractive. So it feels like a city I'd want to spend more time in. And I hear it's going to be the next happening city. I'm sure it's happening already, but it's going to attract a lot of people, I think.
You also had very beautiful chances, like some legendary singers. You know, show so much attention to your first album, like Liza Minnelli covered your song "Twisting My Sobriety."
Absolutely.
Do you remember how were you feeling when you think about Pet Shop Boys production on an album with Liza Minnelli covering your songs, your own song? How did you feel about that? Have you ever had a chance to meet Liza Minnelli, for instance, or
no?
Or Pet Shop Boys?
When I was younger, I did see her around about the time that she must have recorded it in a theatre, and I was too scared to. I saw her in the audience, and I'm a big Liza Minnelli fan now. When I was a kid, I probably didn't really. She was probably a bit too much of a different generation for me, but now I totally like to go up to her and say, "Wow, Liza Minnelli."
She was recording then that song over there.
I think she'd recorded it then, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was quite an awkward young person, so I didn't react to the opportunity.
It's nice to see you.
I never saw him.
I'm sure.
Sorry.
I'm sure. As long as you're not a medium or something,
No,
dealing
exactly.
with spirits or something. But on the other hand, I know that you were in that tribute project, singing one of Ellis Presley's songs,
Yeah.
covering "Loving You." So you're a fan of Ellis Presley?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially when I was younger. Yeah. Well, I'm still a fan, but I was really.
Who do you listen to in your daily life at all?
Ooh.
For instance, recently.
Recently, I listen a lot to. I love a lot of singers. I love people like. Lately I've listened to Chaka Khan and Ella Fitzgerald and Dusty Springfield and Peggy Lee and Doris Day. A lot of people like that. And then I listen to funky stuff that nobody's heard of.
Turkish people are very melancholic people.
Yeah.
And also, you know, melancholy comes from feelings about past. Most important feelings about past generally in general. So we are fond of listening to some 80s periods. So everyone in Turkey, like, they love Kim Wilde and Tanita Tikaram. So many singers from UK scene, from European scene. So what about your feelings of your connection to 80s music? Who are your favorite singers from 80s? Because you're a legendary 80s singer. Do you love Kim Wilde? Do you love Samantha Fox or whatever?
Well, sorry. No.
Bad things happen to Samantha Fox. I know that.
No.
I'm sure you're not. You're a folk singer, I know.
No. She's great. I don't know. I guess when I was that age, in the 80s, I was probably listening to music that was 20 years older than me, because especially at that time, I don't think you had the disposable income to actually buy music in the same way. I would have been listening to music that my parents had, like, I don't know, Aretha Franklin and the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. It's funny how that happens, and now when I see my niece and my nephew, they are listening to Nina Simone or you know, all these old black singers that they find on the Spotify, all the soul music, and because it's natural that you're interested in things that are not of your time when you're young. I think it's kind of natural that today young people are probably looking at music from the 80s, because it's always, you know, if you're kind of a curious teenager, you're not going to listen to Justin Bieber. You're going to be listening to something that you think is kind of cool and not what your friends are listening to. So I don't know if I've answered your question, but I think that's...
You answer it.
Yeah.
You're answering. Yeah. What about your repertoire for your tomorrow's night performance for Istanbulers?
Oh, well, it's going to be a bit of a mashup. It's going to have some old songs and some new songs, and it's going to be with the trio. That's my double bass player, guitarist, piano, and they're all kind of multitask. So there's three of them, but they play different instruments. So yeah, it's a fun evening. It moves to the other side.
It's a kind of mashup with different genres in a way.
No, yeah, maybe there's all different things. So hopefully the people really seem to enjoy it. So hopefully
they're gonna get crazy with Twist of My Sobriety.
They can get crazy with Twist of My Sobriety, but hopefully they'll just be crazy from the beginning. So no, it's a good evening.
On your latest album, there is a lyric saying, "All I know is rock and roll," or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes, it is. No, I thought that was funny, because for me to say rock and roll is quite funny, because I don't have the kind of voice to say it. So I just thought that was a funny. And I was actually thinking in the sense of the original sense of rock and roll, which is quite physical, sexual, historically. I think that's what it meant in music. So that's a weird, like the old blues meaning.
You love like Lucinda Williams
Yeah,
and like that.
exactly.
I know that.
Yeah. So
I'm a psychologist, also doing music journalism. But as a psychologist, I feel like although you gave me a kind of impression when I was listening to Twist in My Sobriety in 1988, kind of melancholic young girl. But right now, I'm seeing very sitcom star from America. Or something.
sorry.
So, is it related to some funky elements of your latest album, or you found a new love or something?
No, you have to say that again. A sitcom star from America.
America or something.
Oh.
I love your energy right now.
Oh,
when I
sorry.
was looking at your old videos, like
Yeah.
remember old videos like Twist in My Sobriety or
No, when I was a teenager, I was a bit moody.
Moody,
Sorry.
yes,
I was
yes,
a bit
yes,
moody and grumpy, and and I was like,
right now you're energetic and
yeah. Thank God it's happened this way. Imagine it went the other way. So that's
thank God.
that's
thank God.
good. Yeah,
That was cool. I know that you meant that. That was cool in those periods. Looking like that.
Yeah, no. But
You made us cry and then you're laughing right now.
no, but that's what kids do.
I know that, I know that.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
It's been a pleasure.
That was a pleasure.